Welcome back to Psychology Decoded. Today we'll explore a paradox few men dare to confront. Why women feel safe with the very men they should fear. It's not just about danger, it's about depth. Because beneath every bad man she can't resist lies something she doesn't find in the safe ones. Emotional gravity. If you've ever wondered why your calm decency couldn't compete with chaos, stay till the end. You'll understand what really makes him magnetic and how to reclaim that power without losing your soul. They say women want a man who makes them feel safe, but safety is a strange illusion, because what she calls safe rarely means still. When she meets the good man, he offers peace, but no pulse, no tension, no edge, no spark that reminds her she's alive. Her mind tells her he's right. Her nervous system whispers he's wrong. She'll tell her friends, he's everything I should want. And yet, she can't feel the gravity. Because safety without depth feels like silence, and silence feels like death. In psychology, this is the paradox of emotional security versus stimulation. We crave both, but the nervous system can't be calm and excited at the same time. So when he offers comfort, her body registers stillness, and stillness, for a woman conditioned by emotional volatility, feels like absence. She's not addicted to pain, she's addicted to sensation. Freud called it repetition compulsion, the unconscious urge to recreate familiar emotional tension, even if it hurts, because pain that feels familiar feels like home. That's why she drifts toward men who disturb her peace, not because she wants chaos, but because chaos feels known. She says, I just want stability. But when she finally meets it, she starts to pull away. Not because he did anything wrong, but because her nervous system can't recognize calm as love. Safety becomes suffocating. Predictability becomes emptiness. And the good man, confused and steady, begins to fade into the background. A ghost of what she says she wants, overshadowed by the man who triggers what she feels. She confuses safety with boredom and danger with life. Because to her, the unknown is where emotion lives, and until a man learns to bring depth to safety, she will always chase the storm over the sanctuary. He's not safe, but he's real. When she's with him, her pulse quickens, not from fear, but from feeling. He doesn't promise forever. He doesn't rehearse his words. He doesn't soften his tone to please her. He moves like a man who could leave, and that possibility makes every moment feel alive. Unpredictability activates something primal in her. It's the nervous system's oldest language. Danger equals awareness. That's why she leans closer when he speaks. Why silence with him feels electric. Why even his indifference has gravity. Her body isn't attracted to his cruelty. It's responding to his control, to the quiet confidence of someone who doesn't need her validation to exist. He doesn't ask for permission, he creates direction. He doesn't seek reassurance, he embodies certainty. And in that certainty, she feels small but safe. Not because he protects her, but because he protects himself. To her unconscious mind, that self-possession reads as strength. The more grounded he is in his own world, the more she wants to be invited into it. But beneath the attraction lies something darker, the echo of her unresolved tension. Jung would call him her shadow projection, the embodiment of everything she represses. Her anger, her chaos, her defiance. When she meets him, she doesn't just see a man. She sees the freedom she's never allowed herself to have. He becomes the mirror she both fears and desires. Every argument, every silence, every pull and retreat. It's all chemical. A dance between dopamine and cortisol. Reward and stress intertwined. She mistakes the anxiety he gives her for passion. Because in a world where love has become predictable, only uncertainty still feels like truth. He doesn't offer comfort. He offers contrast. And in that contrast, she feels alive again. That's why she can't leave. Because deep down she's not chasing him. She's chasing herself, the part of her that only wakes up when he's near. She doesn't love the bad man for his danger. She loves the part of herself he awakens. He tries to protect her from pain, but in doing so, he protects her from passion. He listens, he understands, he says all the right things. He never raises his voice, never challenges, never leads. He believes love means peace, but peace without polarity becomes paralysis. She calls him sweet. She thanks him for being different. But slowly, his gentleness starts to feel like absence. What began as stability turns into stillness. What felt respectful becomes uninspired. She looks at him and sees a man who would never hurt her, but also never move her. Because love cannot breathe in a room without friction. He doesn't realize it yet, but his kindness has turned into a quiet tyranny, the tyranny of a man too afraid to disturb the water. He confuses pleasing her feelings with protecting her peace. He suppresses his edge to avoid rejection, and in that suppression, she loses respect. He wants to be her safe place, but she doesn't want to hide. She wants to feel the weight of a man's conviction, the tension of being seen, the calm danger of someone who knows what he wants. When the good man smothers his power to avoid conflict, he doesn't make her feel secure. He makes her feel unseen. He trades leadership for likability. He gives softness without structure. And that softness, unbalanced, becomes weakness. Stoic psychology would call this a collapse of containment. Control doesn't mean silence, it means presence. A calm man isn't one who hides his fire. He's one who knows when to reveal it. Because women don't crave peace that feels empty. They crave peace that's earned. Peace that comes from knowing the man beside them can face the storm and not flinch. She doesn't want a man who pleases her feelings. She wants one who steadies them. So the tragedy of the good man isn't that he's good. It's that he's safe in all the wrong ways. He hides his edge, and she stops trusting his frame. He silences his power, and she silences her desire. Until one day she looks at him and feels nothing, because he became what she said she wanted, and in doing so, stopped being what she needed. She doesn't crave danger. She craves the man who can control it. It's not chaos that draws her in, it's the discipline beneath it. The steadiness of a man who could destroy, but chooses not to. Because true polarity is not a performance. It's presence. It's the tension between restraint and power, between the storm and the stillness that commands it. Every woman tests this balance, whether she knows it or not. She pushes, not because she wants to win, but because she needs to feel your edges. Her tests aren't about control, they're about containment. She's asking, can you hold me when I lose control of myself? And if you collapse under that weight, she loses attraction. Masculine polarity is not about dominance, it's about direction. It's the invisible structure that allows her to surrender without fear. Because surrender without safety is exploitation, but surrender under strength becomes devotion. The bad man wields his darkness recklessly. The good man hides his completely. The integrated man learns to own it. He doesn't reject his aggression, he refines it. He doesn't suppress his desires, he commands them. He doesn't chase validation, he radiates conviction. And that conviction is what her nervous system reads as security. Jung called this balance the union of opposites, the marriage between the warrior and the lover. One gives intensity, the other gives compassion. Together they form gravity, a presence that pulls her deeper into trust. When a man finds that polarity within himself, he no longer needs to perform strength, because strength becomes his silence. He no longer needs to chase her approval, because her respect becomes a byproduct of his composure. It's not danger that attracts her, it's control over danger. Every masculine trait, your restraint, your patience, your silence, only has meaning when it's backed by potential. Because the truth she feels, even when she can't explain it, is this: a man who can destroy and chooses not to is the safest man she'll ever meet. Every man carries a storm inside him. Most spend their lives running from it. Others let it consume them, but a few learn to hold it. That's the difference between danger and depth. You don't become powerful by silencing your darkness. You become powerful by mastering it, because the calm that draws her in isn't the calm of emptiness. It's the calm of containment. A man who can hold chaos without breaking is rarer than a man who can conquer it. This is what true masculine composure means. Not stoic detachment, not emotional coldness, but emotional discipline, the ability to stay centered when everything around you tries to pull you apart. That's what she feels when she's near you. Not words, not gestures, not promises, but the weight of a man who knows who he is. You don't need to imitate the bad man. You need to understand what made him magnetic and refine it. His chaos gave her emotion. Your calm will give her meaning. The secret isn't to become darker, it's to become deeper, to integrate what you fear without letting it define you. Because a man who hides his shadow becomes hollow, but a man who integrates it becomes whole. When you reach that state, you no longer chase her peace. You are her peace. You become the still point in her storm, the one she can lose herself in without losing herself. Every man has a storm inside him. The weak let it destroy them. The bad let it destroy others. The wise learn to hold it. So learn to hold your storm, because the world doesn't need more good men. It needs grounded ones, men who carry danger in their silence and peace in their eyes. That's the dangerous comfort she's truly drawn to. Not the man who scares her, but the man who steadies her without ever losing himself.